battling. It's not every other minute undocumented immigrants and bringing them into the United States, putting them in stash houses. Some of them do die because of this. And then they move up north, further to the northern states, and then they do what they're going to do. Some of them are criminals. I want to add that to this element, that a lot of these people are criminals themselves, and they're undocumented. They're the ones that are smuggling. They're moving firearms. Right now, I'm going to get with ATF about a case that I'm working with right now, about a female who was moving illegal aliens here in our area in La Jolla. And she's also selling guns, and she's asking these people, you want full loaded AKs, ARs? They're going to cost you a little bit more, up to $3,000. And this is actually going on in real life. I'm dealing with these people. We're dealing with these people as a city and as a community. And that's why we don't stop what we're doing. We can't, if we stop this place will fall apart. It's just something you cannot do. And unfortunately, the federal government,
you're a hero,
has their hands tied.
You're a hero, sir. Thank you for buying and just selling fully loaded AKs. Ben, how do people get social media to you, Lieutenant Casas? How did we get your coverage throughout the day? We'll see you back here tonight. How did they get the coverage?
Of course, AmericasVoice.news. You got to download the app, America's Voice app. FrontlineAmerica.com is my website, and then all social media at Ben Bergbaum, BERG. Sorry, not the California.
That's La Jolla Police Department. We also you can find us on Facebook, La Jolla Police Department.
Lieutenant Casas, you're a hero and a patriot. Ben, you too. Ben Bergbaum, not Charlie Bergbaum. Charlie Kirk is next, though. Stick right here, Real America's Voice. We're back 5 to 7.
Treasury Secretary Yellen and a team of banking regulators have taken action. All customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured, they'll be protected and they'll have access to their money as of today. No losses will be, and this is an important point, no losses will be borne by the taxpayers. Instead, the money will come from the fees that banks pay into the deposit insurance fund. Look, the bottom line is this. Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe. Let me also...
Becker, he sold $3 million worth of stock just weeks before the bankruptcy and reportedly paying out thousands of dollars in staff bonuses just mere hours before the bank was shut down.
We believe strongly the debt ceiling should not be tied to any other discussions. That is the Congress's constitutional duty to raise the debt ceiling. We'd be remiss if we did not worry, which is why we keep explaining how that it would have ramifications across the globe. It would be absolutely catastrophic.
The president's budget took my breath away. His numbers are extraordinary. We're going to run out of digits here. The only way I know how to improve the president's budget is with a shredder.
The Oscars is a celebration of artistry.
Yeah.
Celebrating artistry.
Yeah.
It's not actors, not rich people celebrating. It was a lot of actors who got to the pinnacle of where we feel we can go.
Drag queens are the Marines of the queer movement. Don't get it twisted and don't be distracted. Register to vote so we can get these stunt queens out of office and put some smart people with real solutions into government.
It's a very strange time where I don't think people have a goal that's workable, where they're looking out for all of us. So I think there's like a feeling of chaos that exists today that I don't think has ever existed in my life like this before. You see Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris and Biden can't get a sentence out. You're like, this is madness. These people are utter fools. And I don't have any faith in them, and I think most people don't.
Happy Monday, everybody. Honored to be with you. As always, you can email us freedom@charliekirk.com and subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. On Friday, we covered the end of Silicon Valley Bank, but there are more. Another bank collapsed over the weekend. Bank stocks across the board are down. What is going on here? It still remains somewhat of a mystery. Exactly why Bank held treasury bonds that declined in value when interest rates went up. And the intersection of these caused a liquidity crunch, where a lack of available cash for the bank and led to a bank run. The federal government mobilized quickly this weekend with a bazooka in the vocabulary of Hank Paulson. We're going to talk about this story as it is the #1 story on the planet right now. Are we about to see a bank run in the 21st century? We're about to get started.
Get daily news, politics, and culture the establishment media ignores right off the press. Offthepress.com is the new free hub for all the best news stories all in one place. Stories like Biden's border crisis, runaway inflation, soaring crime, and cancel culture. With blatant bias in the establishment media, Americans no longer have confidence in their reporting. We read thousands of stories every day to find out what really matters. Offthepress.com rises above the noise to deliver well-sourced news stories you just won't find anywhere else. We put in the work so you don't have to. We want to bring the news to you for free. Sign up today for the Off the Press newsletter and get all the news that other sites locked into the liberal echo chamber refuse to print. And when you sign up, you'll automatically be enrolled as an OTP insider. So you'll get breaking news delivered right to your inbox right as it happens.
Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Radio stations across the country. Honored to be with you. Silicon Valley Bank is no more. But it's not just Silicon Valley Bank. There's fragility all across the banking industry right now. Questions are we about to see a 21st century equivalent of a bank run? Over the weekend, the federal government made a series of announcements. Now, you can count on the federal government to work weekends if they're trying to cover up the origins of the COVID virus or if they're trying to prop up the neoliberal banking order. I'm not even saying that in an accusatory way. You probably should work over the weekend to make sure that the entire American banking system doesn't collapse. Multiple stocks of banks are down double digits, 30, 40, 50, 60%. In fact, MarketWatch says that trading has been halted completely for several of the biggest banking stocks, especially mid-level ones, Bank of Hawaii, Regions Bank, many others. So what exactly happened with Silicon Valley Bank? And by the way, it's not just Silicon Valley Bank that collapsed. Over the weekend, we got news. Now, look, part of this is psychology. If every single depositor demands their money, the bank doesn't have the money there. This is Banking 101. They should teach you this in 8th grade finance class. That just because you see your money in your balance does not mean the money is there. Now, the federal government, the FDIC, is supposed to ensure that up to a certain amount, up to $250,000, but they've already lent out that money. That money is elsewhere. Now, they have to have, because of a fractional banking system, they have to have some part of that actually in their available liquid accounts. But if 10%, 20%, or 30% of the depositors say, I want my money now, it crushes the bank. Now, why it happened and how it happened is going to be under great debate. We have some
looking, and the reforms that have been put in place means that we're not